Yes! For you, Kathleen.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors forever.
Well, here I am at North Cape Yacht Club in LaSalle, Michigan, on the eve of the Lake Erie Solo Challenge, which happens to be beginning on August 18th at approximately 10 a.m. What I am facing is to depart these shores, sail 250 miles approximately to Buffalo, New York, turn around and come back another 60 miles to Erie, PA, a total of 312 statute miles solo. I am pretty keyed up right now and nervous. There are 17 entrants this year. Please note that these are some of the titans of the Great Lakes sailing world. I'm feeling like a minnow amidst whales. Last couple years have been very tough. I think last year of the 18 entrants, only 6 finished. And these guys are good, so for them to quit is telling you something. I am awaiting to check in right now. Then we will have dinner and then the captain's meeting, and then tomorrow morning I'll finish final preparations for my tiny vessel compared to most of these guys, and set sail with them. Hopefully stay out of their way. I've never started a race as a captain before, so I've really very little knowledge of that, except for when I've crewed on other boats. In most cases I just watch. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, it's about 9 o'clock, August 18th. I'm heading out of beautiful North Cape Yacht Club to try to finish this epic journey of the Lake Erie Solo Challenge, and we'll see how we do. This is John over here. He's a titan of this. I think he's done over 20 Great Lake Challenges. Apparently he sails very well and very fast, so fast that I'm in a different class. See some of the other competitors here. There's only 2 newbies this year. The other gentleman, I believe his name is Russ. Be nice if we both can finish. Okay, this is Captain Lawrence. We're just minutes away from the start. I already lost the time, so I don't know when that's going to be. You can tell I'm hanging out behind everyone. Not my forte. Never done it, really. I'm making it up as I go along here. I feel like I need to start heading up there. That's 1 minute, I believe. I really don't want to get in that fray. So I'm just going to hang back here and let these guys go. Get a jibe in here. Yeah, that'll work. Not too far.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it has started.
All clear. First flag. Good luck.
Holy cow, that was close. You know I don't know what I'm doing, right?
Don't worry, I'll give you room.
I'm trying to give you room.
I was off on the start by 5 minutes.
Hey, you caught my wind, dude.
Hey, race buddy, many thanks from GLSS. Thank you for a well good start.
Okay, it's approaching 11:30. I'm in dead last. Actually, things were not going bad at the beginning. The winds were blowing about 12. We had some little whitecaps out here. I was holding my own and actually making ground. And then it started dying and getting real shifty. I was relying too much on my auto helm, which I should have taken control of the rudder and adjusted accordingly to go with the shifts. That would have helped out tremendously. As my friend Scotty knows, Pearsons are not light wind boats at all, and particularly mine. You see I got a Yeti full of ice down there. That thing weighs about 1,000 pounds. Hyperbole, Jim. So I am definitely trying to switch from racing mode to cruising mode and get in that mindset. I'm really not out here to win anything. I'm out here to complete the challenge, and that's the mind frame I have. And we got a long, long ways to go. So I'm going to focus on that. It's a nice day though. Good day to start. Can't complain. Things may get rough out here, but definitely pleasant way to start. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky and this will be the whole trip. Okay, it's about 1:32. Radio check-in is going to be at 2 o'clock. I'm sure my friends who are watching me are going, wow, Lawrence is in last place. Well, all of us here in the back are not having fun at the moment because we're pretty much almost becalmed. The wind has been 5 or less for the last hour or so, kind of shifty. I've tried every different sail combination I can figure out. Sometimes I pick up to 2.5 knots, then it dies or shifts again, and I'm all over the place. He was way ahead of me. You can see I've kind of caught up to him. I think that's Wally over there. He was actually looked like he was going to turn to head home. I believe the guy out there's name is Rob. He flew a spinnaker and took it down because, well, it wasn't working. I just heard a radio announcement from some of the guys, the fast boats way up, getting near Peely already, the bastards, and at least they got 6 knots of wind up there. And you can see I'm having so much fun that I got the fly swatter out to keep myself occupied. So, joy! Okay, well, not long after I was complaining, the wind shifted to about the east and picked up quite nicely. At least I'm doing 3.8 right now. Right now the fleet is doing the radio check. It's where we all try to gather everyone's latitude and longitude for safety reasons. And we will keep doing this throughout the entire race. Clearly the boats ahead are going to get out of radio contact with us in the rear, but nonetheless, you know, keep as many people in view as possible. Here's my opportunity to gain on some people. More my wind. That is Epiphany ahead of me. I can't tell if I'm gaining on him yet, but I believe I'm going to. So this is more my style. I believe that's West Sister. No. Oh, I'd have to look at the chart. Got some things to avoid coming up, but I think on this course, I shouldn't have anything to worry about. Okay, it's 4:36, 4:37, August 18th. Doing the Lake Erie Solo Challenge. Getting my butt kicked. Not surprised. I am working on remembering everything that I have forgotten about setting sail. Being a cruiser, I like to think I made ground on them, but I really haven't because they're closer to the mark than I am. Hate racing. You know what I do hate? Is this damn harness. driving me freaking crazy. You get about 10 knots of wind. It's a little white capping, maybe 13. Well, 12 to 13 is when it starts. I should be going faster, but I'm not. Just coming into these waves, even though they're only about 1 foot, maybe 2 max, if that. I'm off Colchester once again. Let's see what's going on this side of the boat. They're going way north. I think we all have the same concept, just go as high up as you can with this east wind. Tack, try to get through Peely Passage with 1 tack if possible. I did terrible in the light air right now. I don't know how I can make my boat go any faster than I have been going. Doesn't point particularly well, and well, I think my library down there is just enough to slow me down a half knot. Yeah, I'm extremely weighted. I know a lot of these guys have light boats, have bigger boats, and you got to remember that I've lived on this boat, so I pretty much have everything I own on this boat. So she's pretty heavy right now. Alrighty then, it's about 6:50. I am sailing up into Kingsville. Over there is Leamington. I'm tucking in behind Point Peely. The winds continue to come out of the east, so I have no desire to tack to get out there. The forecast I just listened to continues to be out of the east the whole time. So we will be tacking Fleet from here to Buffalo. If you look off there in the distance, some rain. At some point here I'm going to have to tack. I'm falling behind the Fleet, which is just fine with me. I'm really not a people person. I'm kind of a back of the bus person, so it's working out well. Days to go before I sleep. Actually, I just want to get past the islands, and then I will start sleeping. Though I have a long ways before I even do that. Oh well. Such is the Lake Erie Solo Challenge. Alrighty, it's 2000 hours. We just had our radio check. I got 9 this time, so I improved. Learning the process of trying to note as many of the other participants' coordinates as I can. Turn my running lights on. It's a little hazy, so though it's not sunset yet, it seemed appropriate. I'm still trying to get out of Peely Passage. Hitting about 4.8 right now. Winds 10 to 12. Beating into it again, so that's pretty much going to be the whole race, I think. Probably won't do a lot of filming during the night, so this might be it for a while. course, there's not much to report. Miles to go before I sleep. Let's see, what facts can I give you? Time to destination, 50 hours and 26 minutes. I'm still an hour and a half way to my waypoint, so to speak. Distance to destination is 239 miles. Velocity made good is 4.7. Overall average is 3.8. I've gone 42 miles so far. You see I got my pillow out, though I don't really know when I'm going to be able to start sleeping. I might do 10 minutes now, and once I get out into the open waters, open that up to 20. Go from there. Probably put on a podcast here. Science Friday. Stuff you should know. Something to keep me occupied. All right, it's approximately 12:20. I guess August 19th. Things have really picked up out here. I was heading out towards the middle of the lake and trusting the weather prediction that it was not going to get too bad. I guess it's not, but I don't know. Not 10 to 15. I'd say 15 to 20. Maybe it's just because it's coming from the east and things feel stronger. I'm not sure. As you can see, I reduced both sails, which I had a whale of a time doing. I've not liked this harness and tether, but I must admit that during that process it was a little comforting to have it on. I don't think my bow has ever seen this much spray before. Yeah, it probably has, but there's been a couple good ones. I'm hitting 4 knots. Heading back towards the course line. And believe it or not, I'm going to try to get some rest here. Though I don't know how, but I got to try anyway. There you go. Nice big yawn. I'm starting to get tired. Everyone was hoping that this year wasn't going to be this ugly, and so far feels like another repeat with the east winds again. Hopefully they die down tomorrow to what's anticipated. I am trying to get behind long points, which I suspect everyone else has done too. I was probably the only idiot that came out here. Oh! Yeah, so this is going to be my night. Why am I doing this? I don't know, because it's there. Cool t-shirt. Jesus, I don't know. I hear the medallion's pretty nice, so it better be. Good morning. It is 6:56. Coordinates are 4202, 8204. Oh. The Lake Erie Solo Challenge is living up to its name. Last night certainly was challenging. I had a reef at one point. Oh yes, I did discuss that already. I don't know if I slept or not. I may have on occasions. I actually got out. But as you can tell, pretty bumpy. Actually, this is, I think it has flattened out since last night. I heard a lot of thuds from the bow coming down into the waves. Having some tea today. Help me stay awake. When I got up, debated shaking out the reef. Then I checked the forecast. Of course, that was the Cleveland forecast, but you know, I think it's going to be windy like this all day. And being the cruiser that I am, which I, you know, could also describe as lazy as all get-go, I don't feel like reefing again later, and I don't feel like fighting with the mate. So I pulled the head sail out a little bit. I think it has me above 4. Velocity made good, just 4.8. So my thing's a little off. I'm hitting 5. So actually, I'm right where I want to be. That's velocity made good. What's my compass reading here? Yeah, that's reading 5.5. I'll adjust that in a second. That's plenty fast enough for me. You guys go ahead, start the party early. I'll be coming in a couple days later, join you. I think I actually see a competitor up there. That's probably the worst guy in the fleet. Well, I wouldn't call him the worst guy in the fleet. He's done a million of these things. He's just generally last. But I'm going to take that title away from him this year and come in last. So there, buddy. I believe I'm approaching Erio. So that means Cleveland's almost south. And there's still miles to go before I sleep. How many? 209 miles to my destination. Woohoo! Holy cow. Time to destination. It's still 47 hours. 36 hours to Buffalo. And 36 hours is my longest sail to date, not counting the 100-mile trial, which took me 48, but I was sleeping during most of that, so that doesn't count. Yeah, fun. Okay, my tether is barely getting me back here to do this, but I can make it. As you can see, I've decided to play with the big boys a little bit and unfurled the main. Took me like 3 times because every time I start, the winds would pick up again, and I was over 5.5, but it's kind of squirrely still. Figured I'd stop being lazy. Try to catch up with Otis. I'm gonna have to get a weather radio check here. Some clouds in the distance. They don't look too ominous, but you know, you never know. rather have my gear early than later. I believe I'm passing Erie right now. We're darn close to it. So, hello Cleveland. Bye Cleveland. Well, we're approaching 2 o'clock, getting close to time for check-in. I think the last time I spoke, I was nearing Erie. I finally got past it and then kind of got stuck in a hole back up that way. Erie's about that way. Hour or so of light to no winds or very shifty winds with some waves, and so bad I could not even take a nap. And then the flies and bugs started coming and it was not fun. It's finally picked up. I'm heading away from that area just because it annoys me. I think this is the best course action anyway. I'm still 4 miles or so from the course line. Just figured it'd be best to get back to the course line and go from there. Now, with that said, that is if I can carry on. This morning, I heard a lot of thuds in the night. And this morning, I noticed my tiller, it's always had a little play in it, but now it seems to be more. When I go down below to try to sleep, I'm hearing thuds. Boom, boom. Which kind of coincides with the sounds I hear out here. So I don't know if I hit something or it's just finally time to replace it. I don't know. My big question is, can it get me through this challenge? I'm out of cell phone range, so there's no one I can call, so I think I'm going to have to get on the horn. Damn it. And this wind's been really shifty like this. Most of the damn trip so far. Oh, that's a freighter. It wasn't trees. Okay. And ask one of the guys their opinion. I mean, yeah, I just did a full circle because of this thing. If I have to bail, now's the best time. Cleveland's that way. So that's what I'm currently coping with. Joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Come this far and have to bail with really sucked. Particularly on my first one. If I'd done a couple, then you'd be like, ah, bummer. Shit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I got on the VHF with Epiphany. Owner named Ron. He thinks it's probably very minor and nothing to worry about. A rubber stopper, something, if you will, gasket. But you guys want me to check the rudder stock for something, which I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But clearly I gotta crawl down there and see if I can't see it. I suppose having a flashlight would be a good idea. Where did I leave that? Oh, and I thought this was going to be trouble-free. Well, if this is minor, it will be trouble-free. Ah! And I can't open the drawer. Everything's going to fall apart at once. Dab Lamet Blob. I know. Great videoing, I can tell. All right, I'll let you know in a second. Okay, went down there, and the answer is there's absolutely nothing I can do from inside. It's just a solid shaft, which looks curved. And that's a bolt, but I don't think that's coming off or anything like that. So what do y'all say? Risk it? Keep going? Of course, I'm stupid that way. Hello everyone, it's about 6:30ish Sunday, August 18th. Here you can see my logbook. It's actually the first time I've ever used it. Should get one, it's pretty neat. Stowage chart, I've listed all my stuff. Departure checklists. Medical kit checklist, I think I failed miserably on that. Your ditch bag, I never had to have a ditch bag before, that's kind of cool. Some passage planning pages. Here I listed my waypoints, etc., etc. Weather logs. And that is currently my deck log. Probably not doing it as frequently as I should. Probably not too well either, but it's been fun. Anyway, today has turned out quite pleasant after a very bad start. Being stuck in that airless hole was not fun, and the bugs came, etc., etc. Then I went south. After a while, the winds picked up steady, and I got headed in a favorable direction. And then for some reason, I cut it back north and got headed in a favorable direction once again. Been hitting about 4.5 here in 1 foot waves, 8 to 10 knots. Looks nice and flat, very comfortable. Heading towards Long Points once again, simply because that's where the winds are taking me. I'm going to Presqu'île, which is on the other side, so why not see Long Points? It has not been very busy out here at all. In fact, I cannot remember. I think I've seen one boat out here today. I have not seen any freighters, any fishermen, persons, and whatnot. Kind of liking this. This has actually been the best part of the challenge for me so far. Out here all alone. Easy sailing conditions, still making some decent headway. Other than being tired, this has been absolutely wonderful last 3 or 4 hours. Well, as you can see, I have a nice half moon for my evening as I keep trying to head my way to Buffalo, which is really my big goal. Weather's good right now. I'm hitting 4 or 5. Winds have not shifted for quite some time. Probably 10 to 13 right now. I mean, there's a couple of white caps, but not really. But so say 10 to 13. Waves 1 foot. Sailing's very pleasant. It's a nice evening. A little chilly, but not like too chilly. Just, you know, not used to putting stuff up on, in August. Here's the problem I'm having. I can't get a good weather report out here. The only station I'm getting is from Cleveland, and they're giving only Ohio forecasts. And even if you get out east, they're not very thorough on that. So I have no idea what these winds are going to do. Or the weather, for that matter. If they're going to stay steady like this, then I like my plan of, you know, getting up there to Long Point, making a tack and sailing a hell of a long way back to the course line. I mean, the wind's coming from that direction, so there will be some waves. You get behind there and, you know, be a little bit smoother sailing. Not that it matters that much, but that's the concept anyway. But if they're going to shift, you know, so that's my problem. You get my points. Arg. So I had a moment tonight at right after our radio check-in at 0200 hours, which was this, and it's kind of hard to explain. All the sailing I've done, there's always been a port within a very reasonable time frame. Even the Sarnia to Tobermory, I had a pretty good idea when I would be arriving, particularly since I could use a motor, so no matter what, I had a good time frame. Well, tonight I realized that doesn't apply. I can't use a motor, so I have no idea when I'm going to get in. And at this pace, I'm hoping to make it by Wednesday morning for the ceremony. So the moment was I kind of succumbed to living aboard. That this currently is my home, this is my life, this is my island. This is it. I didn't bring a lot of provisions, so now I'm thinking maybe I should slow down. Make them last till Wednesday, Thursday, Friday if it takes that long. Because damn it, I am going to finish this. Oh my God, it does not get any better than this. Yeah, see, I don't even want to talk about the details. I have started to head south again. Yay, I don't even know what time it is. Don't really care. A gorgeous night out here. Half moon, reflecting on the lake. I'm hitting 4.5 knots. Jamming to some music. The others are enjoying this, or i.e. I hope they're not too busy racing, because this is why I come out here. Moments like this. Just spectacular. Okay, it's about 10:30 or so, and I think I have issues. Look at that light. That is not normal. I have the engine running, trying to charge, and look at my numbers. They're jumping all over the place. That is not normal. I'm seeing 10s and 9s in there. Not right. I've also noticed that I have 2 batteries, but it doesn't matter which one I switch them to, they read the same. So, what I'm saying is, I think I have electrical problems. And I'm currently creating a plan to finish out with the assumption that I will have no batteries. Electric is nothing I know about, so I want to keep this running as long as I can. I'm charging my phone right now to make sure that's 100%. Probably shut it off. The plan would be, I'm heading south right now. I have 2 handhelds. Both should be charged up. I'm going to sail straight to shore and get in cell phone range, and that way I can at least be in contact with other people and go from there. That should be reading like 12.5 right now, if not 13. I mean, I'm cranking the engine. Something, jeez, nothing's ever easy. Good morning, everyone. Monday, I think. August 20th, 6:45-ish. I'm having some today, waking my butt up. Actually slept pretty solid last night, in 20-minute spurts, of course, but every time I got out, found an odd thing happening though. Something unique, well, maybe not unique to me, but something about me is I will have nightmares or odd dreams to wake me up if needed. And I noticed that all through the night, at about 19 minutes into my 20-minute nap, I would start having very bizarre dreams. I would wake up, and then sure enough, my alarm would go off. So apparently I'm becoming very in tune with 20-minute naps. Got a lot to do today. I think last time we talked, my battery was going haywire, or batteries. What I had decided to do was to just keep going to shore, because as you know, we check in with each other every 6 hours. So I figured my worst case scenario is, well, my battery dies, I'm out of radio contact. I do have 2 handhelds on board, but those guys would not be able to hear me. So I thought I'd at least get inland and start hugging the coast all the way up to Buffalo. That way I would be in cell phone range. Well, as I was approaching shore, I then realized, like, I'm going to need some sleep. I don't want to be hugging the coastline where there's a possible fisherman or whatnot. So I decided to tack. And when I did, the battery numbers stabilized, which I'm finding very interesting. So on the list of things today is to go down, look at the batteries. All I can assume is bad connections. Something's laying on them. Something down there is messing it up, because the wires have not been touched this year. So they are connected correctly. So first thing on the list, if you can see off in the distance, looking like rain to me. So get the foul weather gear out and prepare for possible wetness. Just did an entry into the logbook. Again, I'm not doing that as frequently as I should, but at least I'm doing it. What else? Oh, it happened at about 4 a.m. on the tack. For the first time, I was actually aimed towards buffalo. And it was glorious. Did the 8 o'clock check-in. And now I'm trying to solve the electrical problems. You can see I'm rigging up something to try to keep me on course here. It's doing a pretty good job, which will afford me to turn off the main power to go down here, and all I can think to do is to clean up the connections, and if that doesn't help, then I don't know what I'll do. Suffice to say, I have enough power for now, at least on a starboard tack. I just don't know what gets all goofy on a port tack, but wish me luck. Okay, you'll see that I am back on auto helm, though I was really enjoying my little system. That worked out great. I didn't even have to come out of the hole one time to fix things. She stayed on course. Loved the boat. And the captain had it well balanced. Oh, I gotta fix that. It appears that my electrical problem was just that, dirty terminals and connections. Right now, I have the engine running. She's charging up. I'm seeing 13s, which even though I ran the engine for about an hour last night, never saw a 13. So to me, that's a very encouraging sign. And I'm probably going to put a reef in here in a second. So it's a little overpowered. And I think they're calling for some 20s today, and that's definitely reef mode. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, here's some LESC reality for you. Frustration. I've realized that this challenge is like 4 segments. Start to Peely, Peely to Long Point, Long Point to Buffalo, Buffalo to Erie. And though the first leg was a little slow, but it really was tolerable. It wasn't too bad getting around Peely. But I have been trying to get around Long Point. I don't know. Somebody tell me. Day and a half now. There it is. It's right there. I was actually cruising along pretty nice. In fact, so nice that I made me a fruity rum drink to celebrate getting past it. Yeah, blam it, blah, 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 blah. I've been stalled here for over an hour. The winds keep shifting. They're null and void. They're not doing anything. Sails are just flapping. Why bugs are out here, I don't know. Extremely frustrated right now. We've had a lot of this in this year's journey. I mean, look, I even put up a towel trying to get more wind. It's not working. Anyway, we have had a lot of this, and overall I've coped, but right now I just feel like snapping. So I made lunch. Yay. Does anyone who sails know this is, I don't know, this is the worst, having this just happen. Well, at least another 15 minutes have passed and I'm still trying to pass it. If my knot meter's right, I'm hitting 3 knots at this point. Here's the problem. Initially I said when that lighthouse is abeam, I will have considered myself past it. Well, by that definition, I have passed it 3 times already. But if you recall, that's pretty much the same damn view I had before. So, new definition. When I can see land on the other side of this point, I will consider myself past it. And thus, I will check in with you guys in about probably 2 more hours. The winds keep doing this. They pick up a little bit. You hit 2-3 knots. They stop. They shift. They pick up. They stop. They shift. They pick up. When I say pick up, I just mean ever so slightly. To the point that you can't even take a nap during this period because you gotta, the sails are gonna start flapping, wake you up, and you need to adjust them just to go 14 feet to avoid going backwards. Okay, I know what I said earlier, but now we have a new definition because I can't delay this any longer. I am 99% certain that if you went to that point and drawed a north-south line, I am past it. Woohoo! One small milestone for me, one huge milestone for windlass sailors everywhere. God, it's been annoying. Again, the wind continues to be very squirrely, fickle, pick a term. Currently hitting 2.9, so that's great. Not in the right direction. Again, why should I be able to aim towards Buffalo? I believe that is a competitor out there, and I think it's Epiphany. Ron seems like a great guy. I am not sure what he's doing. He might be heading inland. It's hard to tell from this distance. It does not seem to be on the same tack that I am, and I'm wondering why. What his strategy shall be. Could he have different winds? Perhaps. Might he hope for a sea breeze, if you will? Perhaps. But obviously, I'm out here pretty much right in the middle, and I'm kind of committed to this course. I'm going to check the weather here, see if they can give me some guidance, but I think it's just supposed to be out of the east the whole time, which, is pretty much where I'm heading. Captain Lawrence here, checking in. It's a little after 2 p.m. We just had our 1400 hour check-in. The only boat I can hear is Epiphany. He and I must be bringing up the rear, or he has the best radio I've ever heard. We're looking at the backside of Long Point. I'm staying to the north apparently. Winds are taking me here. Nope, wait, it's my plan. It's a strategic move staying up this way. Yeah, okay, the winds have taken me this way. Buffalo should be somewhere that way. And I'm guessing some 20 miles off yet is Land Ho, which will force me to make a move. I'm hoping that these winds will stay steady and that tack will take me straight to the Seneca Shoal. That would be sweet. Now that's asking a lot considering the Lake Erie Solo Challenge 2018. We're gonna call it the beat. Pretty confident about my batteries. It dropped charge real quick again, down to 12.2, 12.1. Another sailor, Dan, informed me or reminded me, alerted me, pick a word, that keeping it charged for such a long time under engine alone would be tough. Indeed, I remember that from the trip from last year when I was out for 5-7 days, whatever it was. I had to run the engine a lot. Rich wanted me to empty my gas tank, so I'm a little low on fuel, which means I still have half a tank, so I'm sure I'm fine. Poor Epiphany says he's having auto helm problems going in circles. Can't be fun. And he has a steering wheel. One thing I learned was that during that repair, that if I had to finish this without my auto helm, I could. So it's not the best method. It's not like I'm sleeping a lot anyway, but I would be able to make it with some line. Okay, well, here's the deal. I'm way off the course line. Probably have taxed some time ago. I can hear all my sailing buddies watch me online saying, what the hell is he doing right now? Having fun. I don't know. I mean, it's right there. I kind of want to see it. It's been a long time since I've seen this coastline. About 4 or 5 years, I would imagine. When I left Colborne to Dover. So, I don't know. On the other hand, it could work out for me if I, this wind stays steady. One tack all the way to Buffalo. Ha! Yeah, right, but that would work. Who cares? I'm having fun. That's what matters. Okay, technical people out there, I have one strange issue going on, and it's still this battery. I mean, watch it jump all over the place. And the weird thing is, it seems connected to a port tack. If I'm on a starboard tack, it's normal. When I came down, it was below 11, like 10 something, which my understanding is very bad, but it started right up. So currently I'm not going to worry about it. If I need to start the damn thing, I'll go on a starboard tack. Ridiculous, I know. Just saying, you get my point. I've been charging these things all day. It's odd. It's just freaking odd. Can't wait to solve this one. I'm hitting 4.8 on a heading of 122. Bearing the Seneca Shoal is 85. I'm 9.36 nautical miles off the course line. So far, this decision to come up this way is not proven ill. I'm not really getting headed, so either tacking up there or here, so it doesn't really matter. If I get headed, then it would be bad. So, forecast for tonight is very bad. And so it is for tomorrow too. So I'm going to start preparing for rain and thunderstorms. And yay! Actually sounds kind of fun, I hope. Those guys do it, so why can't I? So earlier I was down below and this little pin came rolling towards me, and of course not a clue where it came from, which is it's unnerving, you know what I mean? It's unnerving when you find an extra part no matter what you're doing, be it working on your sink at home, your car, but it's particularly unnerving on a boat, which, you know, if it's important, could cause you to sink. I imagine the only other place worse than a boat would be a plane. So I came out to have some tereré, you know, my jungle juice, wake me up a little bit for the storms that are about to come, and I start drinking it. And you can see, for those of you who don't know, it's a South American tea. You put the leaves in here, and you actually, you know, use a metal straw with a strainer to suck out the liquids after letting it steep a little bit. And this is called the bombilla. And so I'm sucking my tea up through that, and I am like pretty much sucking the leaves up, which is not normal. So I checked it out, and look, that's where that stupid pin goes. So I just spent the last 10 minutes unclogging this, and basically the only way to unclog this is by sucking up all the stupid leaves that are stuck in there. So it's been much fun. So this goes in here. I don't think it's solid. Sure brought my other one at home as a spare. I will never do a trip this long without two of these ever again in my life. But it should work. Ah, yes it does. I'm sure that was some really bad filming, but oh well. I don't care. I'm low production. Okay, I'm going to finish my tereré. Do we have any race fans out there? I know of a couple. And it appears that we currently have one on. We just did our 2000 hour check-in. And let's see. Epiphany said he was 30, I'm assuming nautical miles, away from Seneca Shoal. And I did my check and I was 29.9. So I don't know if you rounded up or down, but I would have just said 30 if I was rounding. I believe he's that way to the south. I took the northern route. We'll see which one pays off. I'm on a close hauled. I'm trying to ascertain what he might be experiencing. I'm hoping that means he's tacking. Let's see. Huh. Maybe. Or he's on a beam reach. It's one of the two. I'm too tired to think clearly. It's going to be a long night, that I know. Again, expecting rain. And I have a feeling this is where Ron of Epiphany kicks my butt. I don't have a lot of experience in weather. Of course, maybe a miracle happens and it avoids us altogether. I am currently getting headed somewhat. So it's back and forth. The prediction was for the wind to shift to this direction and then to continue to shift to the south. And if it does that, then I'll be on a beam reach and sitting pretty. So one can hope. And then, you know, if I beat him to this mark, I'll let him win to PA. You know, he's done a lot of these. I don't want to hurt his feelings. Okay. All right, I'm out. So right after I got done recording that last video, I thought about being competitive and about what the night is in store. So I made a decision. I threw in a reef, reduced head sail to about 110. So, and good call all the way around. For one, I'm actually going faster. So to those of you who don't like to reduce sail, and there was evidence right there. Did it at just the right time too. It's been picking up, and we might have 20s through the night, in which case this is a good configuration. Got up to 30. Even though I am starting to get better at this reefing technique, never had to do it without the engine before. Getting it down, it's becoming easier. Anyway, I'd probably just drop the main and go under head sail. Who knows? Maybe I'll be bold and try to throw a double reef in. Less than 25 miles to the Seneca Shoal in Buffalo. I realized that what I could use right now, since I'm going to have to sail hard to keep up with Ron, who should be, you know, somewhat on a beam reach, I needed some rail meat. So decided to become my own. Yes, everyone, I'm harnessed in. This is a jack line for you non-sailors. I'm attached to it. More so, I'm hanging on for dear life. Oh, kind of clouded over, but sorry about the wind noise. When that moon is out, it's a little fuller tonight. Plenty of light to sail by. I don't even need my flashlight headlamp to figure out things in the cockpit. Have no idea what we're passing at this point. I've been trying to keep my eye out for Ron on Epiphany. No sign of him yet. I believe that would be a southeast wind. As you can tell, I've seen some spray. I'm in some waves. They're not really too bad. Nice thing though is the closer I get to Buffalo, the less time the waves will have had to build. But I am having a blast right now. What a way to finish my end-to-end crossing of the lake. After all that meandering and light wind sailing, finally I get to do some real stuff here.
Well, as you can see, it's a little bit of a mess down below because what's going on out here is not very pleasant. I was sailing along just fine under reef main and jib, and next thing you know, the boat's on its side. Well, not that, I'm exaggerating. It's heeling over good. And I came out and there was no options. First thing I did was get the jib in a little bit. I don't know if I can get it in more, probably. Maybe I have to, I don't know. Boom! Then I had to get the main down, which was no easy task. Meanwhile, I got completely sprayed from head to foot. I'm not sure what course I'm on. I don't think it really matters at this point, because I'm going to check the weather, but presently I'm just going to go where this takes me and ride it out. Oh my God. Oh my God, you can see full rain gear. This has been quite the battle. Let's see. So after that initial huge thing, it died down a little bit. Let more head sail out because I needed more power to get through the waves. And then it just recently picked up again. And I did not get that in nearly as far as I wanted. It reminds me of the time I was going up to Port Clinton, actually, to follow the guys on this race, when I was trying to do the same, and my sheets got tied in a knot, and there's only one thing I could do, and that was to start the engine and go up there and untie it. Clearly did not want that to happen today, though technically I could like mark my spot, start the engine, turn around, take care of business, get the sails up, come back to the same spot and go. But yeah, no, I don't want to. So this is predicted for all afternoon. I find that going to be hard to believe. We got a couple fronts coming through, and then hopefully it settles down. I think I got about still 30 miles to go at this pace. That's going to be, I don't know, you do the math, 7 hours. Shoo! What a way to finish. I don't know, how big is that? 3, 4? Looks like 5. Yeah, she's still not set right, but there's not much I can do right now until it passes. I'm safe enough with it as it is. Just keep kind of going this way and wait it out. Wow. As you can see, conditions don't get any better, and things for me just get worse. I look back there and my auto helm is disconnected from the combing. Fortunately, I didn't lose the actual arm over the side. Could easily came off. Okay, so far I kind of jury-rigged this little system so I can stay out of the weather somewhat. And what the hell was that? As you can see, I'm managing to maintain this course. I mean, I'm not getting to where I want to go, but I'm getting close enough to where I want to go and keeping me out of the weather for now. Well, so far this is working well enough, keeping me out of the weather. Close haul, not close haul, close reach, it's kind of keeping me on, which is not, you know, what I would prefer to be doing right now. But I got several issues because, well, I'm sitting here with a lot of time to think, 25 miles to go, and I've got some issues I'm going to have to deal with. Shoot, that's not pleasant. You'll see right there, that is my furling line. Ideally, the sail should come in some right now. Wow, that was exciting. How's that, Kathleen? But I had enough trouble getting it to where it is under these conditions. But let's say I could bring it in some. Part of the reason I don't try right now is because I kind of need the power to get through these waves. Hopefully you can see them. So, I am definitely going to have to do one, maybe 2 tacks to get across the finish line. Just one problem with that though. That furling line is around the winch I need. And I dare not take that off for fear of letting the sail out further and not being able to get it back in, get the sheets tied in knots and whatnot. So I've been exploring my options. I could sail past the starting line, tuck in behind Presque Isle Peninsula, and pray that I can get enough shelter to not only get that sail in a little bit, but to also get that furling line off the winch. Option number 1. Option number 2. Leave everything as it is and execute a perfect tack without using the winch at all. In other words, let go, come over, pull that sucker in as quickly as I can, as tight as I can, and get it around that cleat. Enough to get me heading towards the finish line, or at least past it so I can tack back and get in. Fortunately, I have about 5 hours to contemplate these decisions and 5 hours to hope that this stuff lies down a little so that it's a no-brainer at that point. Okay, a lot of good news and bad news. Semi-bad news. My system didn't work while I took a nap, so 15 minutes later I was pretty far off course. So now I'm adjusting for that. Good news. I got the furling line off the winch. So I am all set to tack if I need to be, and I also got the sail in a little farther. Very good news. Bad news. I'm barely moving. Good news is the wind shifted. It's heading me straight towards the finish line. I'm all over the place. I'm probably just going to have to sit out here and just deal with the weather and get wet. I wish I was going faster. I don't know what to do. I'm certainly not going to let more head sail out. I can't deal with that. Do I want to hoist a currently reefed main? I don't know. Right now I'm feeling lazy, to be honest. I'm thinking about just putzing my way in there like this and being happy to have made it rather than go through the trouble. Of course, it's not that much of a trouble, but it is without the motor. I'm babbling. You know, I'm so close. I don't think one beer could hurt me to help me think. What's the peanut gallery say? Yeah, go ahead, just one. Okay, great. Of course, it'll just get watered down. Well, I never got to that beer. As soon as I turn this camera off, the wind's picked up again. Which means I'm, now only 5 hours away. Again? Wait, before I was longer. I don't know. I can't do math right now. I'm tired. And it quit raining. Yay. That's good news. And I'm pretty sure, well, who else would it be? That's Epiphany out there. If the winds hold, we're going to be kind of neck and neck. So that'll be kind of fun. Coming in at the same time. I hope that happens. That'd be great. He's such a good guy. Okay, so yeah. I think this is my third damn front I'm going through today. Look at these suckers. Yeah, I think this is number 3. This better damn well be the last one. There's a squall over there. Epiphany was in it. I lost him for a while, but I can make sight of him now. I bet you he had a blast. If I'm having this much fun. Shit! Oh, melting rain. Well, that hurts. Mother! Well, I can't wait to find out how much this is blowing. Thank God I got the sail reduced. I'd have been screwed right now. Jim, I gotta go pee. An auto helm when you own a Pearson. Whoa, hey, stop that. Come on now. Whoa, hey. Come on. Let's get serious now. Lie down, damn it. I swear to God, I can't get there from here. So I finally came to shore. And this freaking comes through. So I tacked to avoid that. Now I'm heading back out to the freaking lake. I was moving so slowly, figuring after this front, it wouldn't be so damn windy, but it picked up again. And like I said, reducing this head sail is not easy in these conditions. So I'm going to overshoot the mark, come back, get across that line, and be done with it. God, it's never ending. Just terrified something's going to go wrong right now. I'm this damn close. Knock on space age polymers. So the universe is conspiring against me because this is now what I'm facing. Dab, lemon, blob, I am going to get wet. Hopefully the winds aren't too bad. May have to turn tail and run. I'm in a good spot though. At least I'm not near shore. See how this goes. It's the scariest thing I've ever been in. Boy, do I have a story for you. But at the end of it was this, not only this rainbow, which is now not as spectacular as it was 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, there was a double rainbow. I've never seen one from ground to ground like that before in my life. This is freaking amazing. And I only had to be terrified through, I don't know, a major storm as I headed out to sea. Oh my Lord, it was crazy. So I'm finally getting close to Presqu'île. I think Epiphany hailed me to let me know I was about to get hit with a vengeance, as he said, as if I couldn't see the damn thing coming. And I tell you what, even if I wasn't allowed to use my engine, I'd have made this choice. I just did that to the head sail, 50%, trysail if you will, and just turned into it, went out to sea. Damn thing, I mean, it hit in waves. It was like I got pelted. Oh, I thought, okay, good, it's over. Then the second wave came, which was stronger than the first wave. Then a third wave came, stronger than the second, and then finally the fourth wave, stronger than the third. I don't know how bad the winds were, but this was very effective. In fact, I was kind of reaching into the storm. I just really think the universe doesn't want me to complete this challenge, but I really think I should just be given it just for making another attempt to get back in there and trying all damn day. Okay, well, as you can see, there's some humongous waves right now. So I'm going to sail and try to get in. I mean, this has been going on all day, so I'm going to try to get in before the next damn thing hits. I'm about to do it. Become a member of the Great Lakes Singlehanded Society. Now, many people have said they've done this. I wish I was. Moving through the line from the moon to the storm. All I gotta do is get across it. Mark my time. Okay, I am back. the last time I tried to film anything, I was trying to cross the finish line, and I don't believe I got that on film because the battery seemed to have died and I had no spare batteries, nor even if I did time to replace it. There's a lot to fill you in on. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm at the Erie Yacht Club, which is fantastic. They've been superb hosts for this event. Both clubs were super. This is the bay. Out there is the USS Niagara, tall ship. Got a couple mooring balls out here. I didn't even know these existed. Very nice. I'm going to walk around, kind of recap the events that the race and the events have occurred since I last filmed, and show you the facilities at the same time. Let's see. Let me analyze my race a little bit here. I got off to a terrible start, and I think that was primarily because of the light winds. Don't light wind sail a lot, you know. I'm a cruiser, and when it gets light winds, I turn on the motor. So it took me a while to start remembering light wind techniques that I had forgotten. I knew them, I just had forgotten, hadn't used them. Very rusty. Anyway, I think once we started getting some real wind, or sufficient wind, I had a pretty damn good second half of the race to catch up to the guys who were probably pretty far ahead of me to begin with. I was really proud of myself to get past the Seneca Shoal in front of Paul, but you know, I later learned he was also having some difficulties of his own out there. I mean, I did one run to land because of my battery, so that was probably somewhat a waste of time. Anyway, the point is, I felt pretty good about the second half of the race. Hey there, look, there I am. Yes, I'm flying the Great Lakes Solo Challenge flag. And you can see some of the other guys have quite a few more than I do. God, these guys they're just impressive. Their sailing resumes just put me in awe. Overwhelmed by them. So anyway, I rounded Seneca Shoal, and things it was actually pretty fun, and then got to Dunkirk, and things picked up pretty good. In fact, I had to drop the main and fight like hell to get my head sail in enough to keep the boat balanced. 30 miles out, my auto helm broke. So those last 30 miles, I was all on tiller and fighting some good stuff out there. Funny story, I don't know if I've told this yet. After the auto helm broke, I kind of rigged up a little system to keep the boat steering on course, and it stayed on course for about a half hour. And there's a couple of guys just babbling. So I trusted enough that I thought I'd take a little nap. So I did. I woke up about 15 minutes into the nap, and I had got off course and was basically out to sea, if you will. And I thought, geez, there's no way I'm going to beat Ron. I kept calling him Paul. Ron to the finish line, Epiphany. But as it turns out, it was the right thing, because at some point I looked to my port and I could not see Ron. He was in a squall, and I did hear him radio in and said that it was blowing so hard he thought he was going to lose his rigging. So that was a very fortunate mistake on my part. Made me very happy that I didn't have to go through that. So anyway, I continued sailing, and I was pretty far out there. I was really just going to try to tack it in, so I was going to actually sail past Presqu'île, the end of the peninsula there, and cut it back, and then figure I'd have one more tack in. But I decided to start heading in sooner than that, so I came in and I was going to get close to shore, and as I was approaching shore I started getting headed. So I turned and tack. So now I can aim towards the tip of the bay, and I was going to cut in and in. Well, as I was approaching, Ron got on the radio. I mean, I saw it coming, but he informed me that I was about to get hit with a vengeance. Okay, see, that we had been through, I don't know how many fronts that day sells. I mean, 5, maybe 6, somewhere in there. They just kept popping up and coming. And so initially I thought, okay, here comes another one. What's the big deal? Well, when one of these guys hails you on the radio and say, you're about to get hit with a vengeance. These guys have sailed through everything. So when they say that, you know it can't be good. So I hailed back. I said back, okay, I'm going to head out then, because, you know, there's no you know, even if I could turn my engine on, it wasn't going to help in those conditions. I mean, it was just going to hit you too hard. So you weren't getting in. Later they told me, well, why didn't you just anchor up out there and let it pass? That was not, even if I had thought of it, that was not going to happen for me. I wanted to do this non-stop under sail. I didn't even want to use an anchor, so I decided to head out into the storm. Really, my first, I mean, I've been in some weather, but nothing like that. So that was my first experience with that, and I don't know how much I talked about it, so I was going to let you know it was kind of surreal. It just kept, you know, suddenly I'm being pelted by rain, the first wave, not too bad. Then a second wave came harder, then the third wave came harder, then the fourth wave came even harder still. But I just kept heading out towards the clear sky, right? I mean, and I actually think I stayed kind of on the edge of the storm, so luckily, so I think that helped out a lot. Oh, look, a crane. And eventually the sun came out, but it kept raining, and I'm like, well, there's sun, it's still raining and raining. I mean, I'm completely soaked at this point. But eventually it cleared enough. It was time to tack back in. So I turned and started heading in. And by the way, there were some 8-foot waves out there. One time I wasn't paying attention, and it hit me a beam, and my boat just went like this. And that was the farthest over I think it's ever been. So I started paying attention after that. Here's the winner of the race. This guy's I mean, first of all, look at his boat, and he's just an excellent sailor, and that thing is fast. He's done a lot of solo sailing, but this was his first challenge, and he kicked ass. Very nice guy. Well, they're all really nice guys. So. That's also a very fast boat. Look at that thing.
Go get some fuel quick and dirty. That's what I'm on. Get it quick and dirty, too.
You staying over here?
I'm going to take Finnair spot. I'll go right behind.
I was going to do that. Oh, you beat me to it. It's fair.
Put the camera down. Run your boat then.
I gotta bore people at home with something. I gotta bore people with this thing. You know.
It's all right. Put it on the website, huh?
Yeah, it'll go up. So anyway, back to the point. I was able to turn to tack in, and it cleared, and the big waves. Okay, that's where I was. So I'm trying to hail them, and no one's responding to my calls. But anyway, I got this nice run to the finish line, right? I mean, I don't have to do anything. It's finally going to end. I actually kept the small little head sail up, even though I should have let some out to gain some more speed. I was putting in about 2 knots, I'd say, but at that point, I did not want anything to go wrong. I could not have something go wrong and not be able to finish this race. I mean, how hellish would that be to get that close and then you can't finish because a line got stuck or something, you know. So there was no way I was going to do that. So I putzed all the way in. And right as I'm about to cross the finish line, I get headed. You gotta be kidding me. So I tack. Getting close to the finish line, I get headed again. Finally, on the 3rd try, boom, I cross it, and it's over. So, and I don't know, it felt kind of anticlimactic at that point. I didn't want it to end, and it did. And, you know, there's no one there. I know I'm last. I was like, okay, I guess I'm done. Well, to get from the mouth of the bay to the shot club, it takes you a while. And I finally found out where it is and called Paul on the phone. He said, yeah, just, you know, we'll watch for you. We'll come out and help you in. Well, they put me up right up front. And when I got in, every member was standing there. And once we got tied up, they gave me a round of applause. And it was overwhelming, to say the least, to have these guys come out. They're eating dinner, and they come out to applaud me, shake my hand, and one of them says, "You got balls." So, I mean, that just meant the world to me to have these titans of Great Lakes sailing do that for me. I felt extremely touched. So, then I felt a sense of accomplishment. So anyway, it's been a great time since then. You know, clearly I was beat up, but I joined them for a couple beers. I came back down. You know, normally you have a period when you feel like, you know, I'm falling asleep. I put my head on that pillow, and I was out like a freaking light. And then yesterday, it was just a great day of camaraderie, sitting around telling stories, eating, drinking, and you know what sailors do. And it was fantastic. And now it's winding down. Most of us are waiting until tomorrow to leave because most of us are going west, and there's some winds off the nose and it's pretty lumpy out there, John said. So, oh, it was Lise who said, "You got balls." What a compliment. Boom. So we're all waiting until tomorrow, and we're heading home. So today I am preparing to depart. I gotta gas up, pump out, figure out where I'm going, do some laundry and all that kind of stuff. So
Okay, so I thought the story was over, but it's not. This is definitely the last night here for all of us. We are all departing tomorrow. Several were going to depart tonight, but you know, we started having too much fun and they chose not to. The yacht club is having a band tonight, which is exciting. We're all waiting to eat. Hey man, you're spilling my beer. Thank you. And apparently one of the members has the craziest dance, so I'm going to film it. That's Dave Evans. He is quite the character. Great guy, fun as hell. He's 81 years old. He has done 41 of these things.
I can't keep up with Grandpa.
I know you can't, right? He's done 41 of these things. He's 81 years old. It's just amazing. I hope to God I can do what he's doing at that age. It's just impressive to be a solo sailor. He's done all these Great Lakes, and like I said, he's a character. He's much fun.